Sup everyone, Darkscream217 here. With me is Windsor321.
Yeah.
And today we're going to do a discussion slash retread of a manga that I've read some time ago and then actually reviewed it on my channel. And for some reason I came back to check it out again. And that manga slash webcomic, well, you can read in the description, is Owie House.
Shockingly not the gayest thing that I've seen.
No, I'm pretty sure free is Gare if I have to take my put my money on it.
Yeah, but it's still not the worst one.
Alright, anyways. What is Owie House? Well, it is a webcomic. It started off as a webcomic, and it was made about, it's actually almost 10 years old. It's about two college dorm mates who got kicked out of their dorms. The characters' names are Alex and Sandy, by the way, for multiple infractions, and then they have to find a new dorm, and then they found this flyer called Owie House, where they promised some free rooming service and, anime fans and all that. Continue on, I'm running out of breath.
Okay, well, due to some miscommunication, the both Alex and Cindy realized that the house is not what they thought it was. It's actually a yaoi-based fan club where all the girls who live there are massive fujoshis and are rotten to the core. Perfect place for two dudes to feel safe.
Well, they accepted them into the club anyways because they needed the roommates and all that jibbery jew. I'm going to talk about, before we actually go into details about the manga, I want to talk about how I stumbled upon this one. Couple years ago, when I was hanging out with the Fighting Gentlemen, we were messing around at a bookstore because I like to hop from bookstore to bookstore to other stores on the weekends in order to pass time. And this was one of the mangas that were like put in the front section of the store. Well, not in the front section of the store, but the front section of the manga section. You know how some mangas get pulled out and then they get turned horizontally to be more displayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was it was one of the omnibus collections, so that got my attention, and I was like, "Whoa, the art style's pretty weird." And then I took a look at the cover and some of the art and stuff, and I read the back, and I was like, "Ugh, yeah, we fangirls, no, thank you." And I put that back. Jamal saw this, and apparently it's advertised as IGN's #3 best manga of the year, and Jamal's like,
Uh,
eh.
is 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 that like a good type of award?
Well,
IGN loved this.
exactly.
It's not a video game.
When he saw that, he's like, yeah, they're sellouts, which, that's common knowledge, but not back in 2008, at least not yet completely. So I this I decided to just move on. We decided to move on from that, but it turns out I did have some money left over, so the following afternoon I decided to pick up this manga and read it. The first couple chapters, I read that, and then I took a break because that's the kind of person I am. I'm a slacker when it comes to enjoying my own hobby. I was a college student at the time, forgive me.
You were too busy joining your own clubs
Yeah.
and getting into crazy shenanigans.
But then I continued reading it because it turns out I was liking it more and more, and then ultimately I did enjoy it. Now, what about you? How did you stumble upon this webcomic?
You made me read it. That was basically it. You told me to read it, and I took your opinion that you are clearly have great taste in manga.
Wait, when
So
did you read this?
it was, jeez, how long ago was it? I'd
Oh,
say
oh, so I took it you saw my old review and I said go read it.
no. You actually made me read it. It was like shortly after we first met that you told me to read this
Dude, I'm
because
completely lost. I don't think I ever told you to read it after we first met.
mm, no, you did. It was shortly after we were at a bookstore and you saw the omnibus and you said I should pick this up. But because I am poor, I just read it online instead.
Okay. Well, the comic is free legally to watch online anyway, so if you are even curious about this, I will post a link to the first page on the description.
It is
Uh,
poor man approved.
Somebody who totally gets the fan base here. They're broke.
Unfortunately, this hobby is one that requires a wallet.
Yeah. Now,
Now, now what I was going to say is I don't know the big differences between the actual version you had that was a book and me reading it online.
me neither. When we were
But
reading it together recently, I was reading straight out of the paperback because I hate reading through computers.
I live through a computer screen, so it's normal for
All
me.
right. But oh god, what was I gonna say? I don't know. I've reread it a few times before because, well, because of how short it is. It's just easy to do that. But for some reason, I had this urge in the past week or so to reread it again, and I was like, well, shit, I don't know. I have to have you read this along with me again, and so we did. And our opinions are it's still the same, but we have some issues with it as well.
It really has nothing to do with like the central premise
No,
because,
no,
like I
even though
said,
it's a
you'll
scary
like
premise.
anything that's a better executed version of Love Hina.
Yeah,
A guy lives in building with girls. Wacky shenanigans ensue.
and you said yourself, it's because the reason why I was able to enjoy this more is because, well, the characters were actually, and that's the thing, the characters, oh man, like I said, this was a little bit longer. People would have a little more development, but you said it yourself, the character interaction was actually pretty fun, and it seems like all the characters, even when they're being put through the yaoi torture moments, seem to be pretty fun.
It's like there isn't any real complexity to this. It is a very simple like style, simple characters. But the fact is, you can just appreciate when you know you see fun happening.
Mm-hmm. But you want to go quickly through the characters again? I know it feels like I'm retrying my old review, which I saw by the way, and you're right. That is pretty weird to check out your videos from way back when.
Yep.
Let's talk about our two main characters, Alex Roberts and Sandy Grayson.
Mm,
Sandy
yep.
Grayson, the every otaku, who's not that pathetic, but he's got his moments of womp womp womp
He is the comedy relief.
womp.
It's funny because he's basically played off as the village idiot, but he's not really.
All right. I don't know. Sometimes he reminds me of you, except he wears glasses and is a little bit geekier.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, everyone compared to me is pretty short, so.
That is true.
Oh,
But
wow. I didn't notice this now. I'm looking through the characters' student records, which are, they show production sketches and stuff, and they actually have some bios listed off. Interesting. Favorite series: Ayuri Aoshi, Bubblegum Crisis, Cardcaptor Sakura, Chobits, Fushigi Yugi. Man, he loves a lot of shoujos. Inuyasha, Love Hina,
hey,
fuck you.
there's nothing wrong with liking shoujos.
He likes Soup on the Third, Macross, Evangelion. Wow, he's got a wide taste. The list goes on and on, it says. Ah.
I'm actually more curious to see what Alex's profile is
Oh, okay.
because
I got it up here right now. Alexis Roberts, Alex, the Bushonen type, the more of the he's more of a straight man. He's not very otaku-ish looking in design.
straight man.
They're both straight men in a gay world.
That's everybody.
Let's see. Uh, Apparently his hobbies are AMV editing and drawing, which, by the way, you never figured that out because they never explore that in the manga. Favorite series: Neon Genesis Evangelion and Cowboy Bebop. Um, let's see what
Oh, wait,
else.
that's it. So he is a casual.
Favorite video games are DDR and Tekken, which they kind of gave that away in the manga. Huh. But these two are pretty likable characters. They're not self-loathing. Though Sandy had his flaws. Like remember that time when they were replacing Elle and Alex at the DDR machine, and he
Yeah.
got distracted. For
I mean,
God's sakes, what are you, 12? Focus your eyes on the machine. And he lost and cost Alex some dignity.
yeah. That's really the thing, though. That mental maturity.
Yeah.
Because Alex is like, he is the foil to everything, basically. I mean, his only, like, kind of kooky stereotype is he looks by shonen, and
Hmm.
that's it.
In fact, he has a special thing where if you take away his ponytail, he's got this long, beautiful hair. And it just makes all the women fawn over. All right, let's talk about Elle Mathers, a character who I hated at first, but then she turned out to be okay, kind of like Saki Kasukabe from Genshiken. Except she's not the otaku hater who eventually becomes cool with the other people. She was kind of already an anime fan, but boy, did she make things difficult to enjoy this sometimes.
Well, like I said, she's supposed to be the president, and the president character always has to be stuck up.
And she's rich.
What kind of rich?
Mary Sue rich is what I like to call it because they don't explain how much money she has. She just happens to have Bruce Wayne amounts of money. According to Nina in one scene, that she can actually just fly to school on a helicopter if she wanted to.
Must be nice. But for someone who has all this money, she sure does act bitter all the time.
Yeah, I know. Favorite video game? She likes The Sims. Her favorite series are Super Gals, Cardcaptor Sakura, and Kadocha.
Wait, she likes The Sims? Well, that explains a lot. A game where you control the actions of a tiny person and how they live their lives. Perfect for a rich person.
Touche. But like I said, her character eventually grows on me over the series. Um,
You want to know why, though? Why, really? She's the only one with, like, any. Well, probably one of the few characters with any real development.
True.
Because she's the only one to ever show to have problems.
Hmm.
All the other characters are happy and enjoying their time, except our main protagonist.
All right. Next character, Nina Parker, which we were discussing earlier before we started recording. We didn't have much to say about her, which is kind of sad.
Because the
Uh,
thing is like, the main problem with this series is the fact that it was so short.
yes.
Clearly, we'll get into it later, but it seems like the change in one moment of the series kind of made it seem like the author
Just
wanted to just abandon this and go on to something else.
yeah, like how most people would do, like how most artists do nowadays. But I'll give him at least this much credit. Even though it was a rushed ass ending, at least he tried to conclude it as best as he could.
Yeah, I do have to appreciate that. It gave it an ending, and you saw some subtle character development with her and her opinion on certain other characters and what they do together.
Mm-hmm.
And but the thing is like she was never really explored, even though it was just said, oh yeah, she's a synchronized swimmer. They go to the Olympics for that. That must be
The only
stressful.
series that she likes are Fake and Gravitation, which are two yaoi-based shows, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I know
And we know
gravitation.
this much. They also have room characteristics in here. Totally messy with piles of clothes and food everywhere. The stereotypical college room. Hmm.
Like that's so tomboyish, right? No, that that is just how you live.
In college,
Hmm.
like you
You're
don't give a fuck.
you're away from your family. You finally get to experience the joy of free life.
All right. Next character, fan favorite Morgan McKnight. That's it. That is an act. I like that name. It just rolls off of the tongue perfectly. Morgan McKnight.
The stars must have aligned properly to roll that name.
Yeah. It might be a DC reference. There are some DC comic references sprinkled around. For example, Sandy Grayson, Dick Grayson, some other names here and there.
Maybe her name is just Morgan Knight, but she added Mick because she likes McDonald's. That's why she has red hair.
Touche. But she looks more like the Wendy's girl.
Yeah, yeah, true. Like the thing with her though is at first she seems like she's just a super childish character and all that, but at the basis of everything, she's just trying to have a good time.
Favorite
That's a
series? Anything you put in front of her, as long as there are snacks involved.
Does Food Wars count?
Oh
It's
God.
not really snack foods, but
No, I mean, I
it's
mean, I
food.
mean, I mean, if you just put a bowl of popcorn in front of her, her eyes will be glued to the TV. You could be putting up Master Martial Arts. She might fucking watch that, as long as you do that.
To be honest, Food Wars would probably just make her angry. Probably have some nice over like they're having a cake, but she can't eat it because it's not real.
All right. Next character, Jessica Kim, the cosplayer slash nurse.
Like she was basically shown as the hot one, which I mean, yeah, she's like the cosplayer and all that, but it always seemed like there was more to explore with her.
I know, I know, and I actually really like her too. Uh,
What did it say for her bio?
oh, okay. Obviously she's majoring in nursing. Hobbies are shopping and fan dubbing. Favorite video game: Gran Turismo, Halo.
That opens
That
some doors.
opens a whole can of worms right there. Favorite series.
She does have three brothers.
Favorite series: Tenchi Muyo, Chobits, Love Hina, Boo, Oh My Goddess. About 3/4 of it's pretty good.
Okay, she has one character flaw. You
All
can you can forgive her for that, right?
right. Next up, Maria. Maria Ortega. She also joins the club around the same time Alex and Sandy does. Glasses Girl, Busty. Obviously, they took a bunch of notes from other anime shows to make this character happen.
Yes, but what is her secret shame?
That she is also a Yaoi fangirl, even though that's not secret, nor are they ashamed of that.
No, but I mean, like, what does it say in her bio for favorite series?
Oh, okay. Oh, favorite
It,
series. Just Sailor Moon, Fruits Basket, and Caricano.
I expected something a lot deeper, like her liking Berserk.
Oh, dude, that would be funny if that was true.
Oh, trust me, it wouldn't be for the reasons you'd want, though.
Oh no, dude, that's messed up. Oh yeah, I can see it. There were probably fangirls who paired up Guts and Griffin a lot. Or was it
What do you
Griffith?
mean? I thought the show did a good job doing it for them.
All right, gotcha. Another character shown on the student records. I never really tapped on this character a lot, but this character exists, Carlo. Oh,
Who was Carlo again?
the club founder, the transvestite.
Oh, I'm curious. What's that bio about?
Let's see. Uh, Favorite video games not available. Favorite series, anything yaoi.
Mm, I expected like more detail.
No,
I thought that it's like for a character that got that much screen time, you did learn how you shouldn't put your hobbies over your life
yeah, when they
because if
explain
you
how he
spend
found.
all your money on books, you will be homeless. But at least you can build a house out of manga.
Yeah, they explained that he got into the hobby so much that or she, I'm gonna be honest, it actually says so in his sex other.
Okay, we'll
And
just
and
refer
and,
to it as other.
for some reason in the first half of the series, which I have, they referred to him as a he, but in the second half, whenever Carlo was briefly mentioned, all the characters referred to him as she. So whatever.
That, that just got things complicated.
It did, but I don't care. But Carlo spent more money on yaoi before the college priorities, which
I'd
I've
like.
almost done from time to time. Every time I go back to college, I get about $80 with me, and then before I even make it to my apartment, I only have $10 left.
Hey man, that's $10 cheeseburgers from McDonald's. That's 2 weeks of food.
Oh man, hated Washu when I told him it's like, hey, can you help me out? I only have $10 left. Don't you bring $80 with you? Ah, I spent it on some DVDs and manga. And he just gave me a look.
You're going to die when you're sleeping on your DVD.
And then the next character, the mascot, Echibu the hamster.
To be honest, hamsters being cheeky little bastards is a classic anime trope.
Yeah,
It's okay. We can go on adventures.
the Echi Cam.
It's like you knew. Okay, I want to come back to that later because it brings into a point of a certain other character that we haven't really gotten to yet. The one other member of the club, the
Well,
dark horse hidden in the corner that nobody's aware of, always watching.
all right, the big brother, aka
Yeah,
Son.
Big Brother, get it?
Yeah, I
That
know.
was the joke.
That is the joke, but but I like to call him Big Brother because that's just it's just funnier that way for me. We ain't gonna write a letter. That's how Big Brother tracks us. Yeah, we never really talked about him, but should we spoil it anyways? I mean, this isn't going to be an extensive discussion.
Well, I mean, we if we don't bring it up, we can't talk a lot about things
True.
and things. So if you plan on reading this, go ahead and stop here
Stop here, read it,
and
and then
go
come
read it and
back.
then come back. It really does not take that long to read.
No, you should get your own opinion, anyways. You should have your own opinion at this point, and it would be a lot more helpful. But overall, despite what we think about it now, Windsor and I still love this manga. We still love
Yeah,
the hell out of it.
it it had enjoyable characters and crazy wacky adventures. What more could you want? More of it, maybe.
Yes. Like if we do have a few criticisms. The biggest one being is that there were lost potential. I mean, characters could have been developed a little more. More interesting adventures could have happened. Uh, if it was just about, I don't know, I would say two, maybe three more volumes longer. But that was about it. I mean, but then again, I'd rather have something that's enjoyable, short with a lost potential, than something to drag on and on and on again to the point where I am just rolling my eyes, wishing death on the series, which I
Like
have done for
most.
several shows like The Simpsons.
Like most, like, and I hate it, and I know you hate it when I call this series this, like most web comics.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I didn't know this was a webcomic when I first saw this.
True.
No, when I saw this, it didn't even advertise it was a webcomic anywhere. I was like, oh, it's a manga. And then when I finished reading it, I looked it up online and it kept saying, oh, yeah, this was a webcomic. I'm like, I could have read this for free? Well,
Come on,
I'm
you
not
knew you would
bummed.
have bought it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have. Let's talk about the art style from this artist who calls herself. Oh, I'm pulling up the page right now. Carmela Shie Doniza. I'm
I
sorry if
got.
I'm botching that name up.
I definitely got to give it to this artist. The artist is what made the series. Like
Agreed. The artwork
it,
is fucking amazing. I love it.
if the art was more like simplistic and simple, like a web comic, it probably would not have caught me as
No, there
you
was
know.
I know there was an early version of Alley House before with a different artist, and yeah, the artwork was definitely more simplistic and stuff. That one I'm pretty sure is unfinished, but this version, yeah, the artwork is pretty much eye popping. I mean, it does look like a mid '90s to mid 2000s anime style. It just looks that authentic to me. Um, the shading's really good. They have some of the over exaggerated anime character expressions that I miss from the '90s anime that seem to almost go completely abandoned. I had some crazy moments like whenever before they completely revealed who Big Brother was, they always made him a shadow figure. Uh, that
Like
was pretty hilarious.
I like that too, but that that big reveal was so underwhelming.
Yes, it was. Uh,
That was the exact moment they were rushing to the ending.
True.
Okay, so I guess we could start talking about the actual show now before we bring up other things
Uh, like what?
like other related.
No, I mean bring up the actual show thing. I don't know
Yeah,
what else to say. I don't want to do a piece by piece summary.
I mean we're
Uh,
not really going to do a piece by piece summary, but we hit the point where things got too much.
oh Jesus, kid, do we have to talk about that now?
Well, I mean, it's a word of warning. But like I said, it's not mad if you're into that genre. Like, and so some people might think it I'll just say it like this: the series takes a quick genre change towards the ending, where they stop being slice of life and more like supernaturally, and that's cool. I mean, who doesn't like Scooby Doo, right?
Right.
But
But it was like the last major chapter of the it was like the last major chapter of the series before it started to get to the ending, which is one of the reasons why I wasn't really too keen on this switch. And boy, man, when you were reading along with me, you saw how quickly I just want to get that over with.
yeah, and the thing was, they could have played it off in a way that made it make sense.
Yeah,
There were many ways to do it, but I guess they
but
wanted
nothing
to
about it
like,
made sense. It was just at that point the guy was just throwing references almost for the sake of it. I mean, he was probably doing that earlier, but at least they were
subtle,
yeah.
like that. And like I said, it's not mine if you're into like supernatural themed series,
But if
but
you're gonna take him to a place called Silent Hill, make it like Silent fucking Hill.
yeah, not crazy wacky Adventure Hill. This isn't Silent Hill 4.
No, I'm just saying. But you didn't do that. It's just another weird ass place, and that's about it.
Mm.
I don't even understand what was going on throughout that whole chapter at all.
It was just sort of like it's that sense. Well, what is the term for it?
Jumping the shark,
Oh, you're way past jumping the shark at that point.
kicking the shark in the balls,
It's more like jumping the sharktopus.
sharktopus.
Yes, he's half shark, half octopus. That's how far we've gone.
That is nuts. But yeah, I that was actually I did not like that chapter, and that was like near the end of the series, which is sad because they actually had some pretty good arcs before that. To me, things started really, really, really picking up in quality during the mall episode,
Yeah, the mall was
and
definitely,
then the convention arc was just fucking great.
and then the epilogue was pretty good too.
The epilogue was pretty good as well as the where are they now moments, but but like I but like I said, that one particular chapter I was just rolling my eyes over.
Just like the references were fine, and it would have been all cool and dandy if I don't know there was more build up to it, and then not even really build up, but sort of you saw it like coming in a way that didn't seem out of nowhere.
Yeah, but like I said, it just felt like it was completely out of nowhere.
Like,
Hey,
you could have done a lot more with your crazy road trip adventure.
uh,
But but even though that part was a little like out of nowhere, it still had some pretty funny moments.
true. I just can't think
So
of any of them except for the music that was playing in the jukebox, which is an actual song. I forgot what it was called. I think it was a TV show theme song, but I remember that exact same song playing in an episode of Scrubs when the janitor got like a new cleaner uniform and as a result nobody is intimidated by him. He's trying to be pissed off and then that music's playing. Come on, get happy.
oh yeah, that song. I'm pretty sure the song is literally called "Be Happy."
All right, it might be. I'll look it up.
Come on, it's from. Isn't it a Beatles song? Come on, boys, there's a song.
Let me see.
Come on, get happy. Come on, get happy.
Yeah, well, those are the lyrics.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Beatles.
No, it's the theme song to the Partridge Family.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh wow, man, I forgot what old shows I used to watch.
but yeah, that's the song.
Hmm.
That
Well,
it's
let's
like,
see.
okay, we got out of there. Let's play some music, and then that music plays again. It's like on second thought, turn off the radio.
And nothing beats the classic stuff. Uh, besides that, I mean, there's like other aspects of the show, like the rival school characters
Oh, Uri House
were
that get introduced at
were
the
really
beginning.
interesting, and it seems like you could do a lot with them.
You could have made a whole spinoff based off of those characters, actually.
Yeah.
Uri House. I was expecting another cliche douchebag rivalry group, but it turns out those guys were actually really cool and friendly and open and all that stuff.
And only one character disliked them.
Yeah, it was Elle who disliked them, even though really there was no point to do so.
There was no reason to. It honestly felt like forced drama.
It did.
Like it was trying to appease a user base of some kind.
uh, there, yeah, and some of the characters are also more otaku-ish types. Like I know one of their members is like an artist and an AMV editor, and he looks like every other artist and AMV editor I've seen in my life too. Let's see if I can find a really good. I'm trying to find the group shot of them.
He's our AMV editor. I wonder what he's doing today.
Illegally downloading anime, I see. You fool.
Yeah, do you want to watch the next episode? Do you mean
I
it's
just like
out
how their
already?
head club member is a stereotypical Bush shonen character. He runs a Yuri-ish anime club, and I'm like, this guy
You
looks
mean
less
Mason in the
otaku
basin?
than yeah, Mason Blue. He looks less otaku than Alex, but he's actually a pretty cool character. I like him.
Mason in the face.
uh, oh, so crazy ass references. Man Fei was referenced. And then for the cosplay contest, Man Ray by Sandy.
Oh no, it's the evil man.
Ah. What else can we talk about before it sounds like we're just rambling on completely?
No, we could talk about its portrayal of yaoi fangirls.
All right. The reason why Joy and I really enjoy this manga a lot is because it wasn't too dark with the yaoi fandom portrayal.
It
And
had some
considering
subtle
that
hints.
Jordan and I have been near a few of them because we're both otakus, we we know how much darker it can get
Yes.
potentially. But for some reason, it did not completely era- um it did not completely destroy what we didn't prejudge this series, at least not completely to the point where, oh man, series about yaoi fangirls, ew, drop this. Although I will admit, a big problem, not a big problem, but the thing is, every time I see a female otaku in any form of fiction, she's always a yaoi fangirl. All of the female characters in Genshiken,
And let's be honest with
and
the
a bunch of other
concept.
examples I can't list off right now because I really can't think of anything else off the top of my head right now.
It's kind of like this though. When it comes to like yaoi and yuri, the main issue that like I have with both sides, I can say both, is because a lot of the content has no substance. Very, very few. Whenever they portrayed them explaining it all, their panel wasn't even so much about yaoi as much as it was about shipping.
Oh yeah, the
It's
yaoi
like here's
panels.
how you find every subtle like crumb of connection that you can call to ship these characters.
Oh,
It's
so you're saying that it could be just fan service schlock?
like that's what a good chunk of it usually is fan service schlock. Uh, Yaoi specific series don't really get too much of like publicity because a good chunk of the yaoi fandom only goes around seeking yaoi in places where there isn't or not enough to, like claim, but just fuel the dream,
Hmm. I don't know. I haven't read this stuff.
I
The only
can
thing
still
that really
remember the
bugs me is
very
the
moment
fans.
when episode 3 of Naruto aired,
Oh yeah,
and then
that actually gets discussed.
every
That
girl I
actually
knew
gets
was freaking
discussed
out
in
over
this
that
comic.
kissing scene.
That
Yeah, it's like it brought up. It's like, oh yeah, that's the future right there. And the sad part is they weren't too far off.
no, they weren't when you showed me that ending. Oh my god,
You are my friend.
that is
Ugh.
the most homoerotic two guys lying on the back getting their ass kicked scene I've ever seen in my life. The fact that their severed arms made a blood puddle that was heart shaped was just too much. And
It's like, oh
I thought
man,
the latest issue of
that's
Mortal Kombat
friendship right there.
I thought the latest issue of Mortal Kombat that I have read was more insane because it had Sub Zero getting his ass handed to by Scorpion
Oh,
because Ed,
I guess we should also add in spoilers to Naruto.
who cares? It's over and everyone. Well, no, it's not. It's going to be milked to death for 20 years on.
No, it's not over.
It's never going to be over. But yeah, that was just as ridiculous as Sub Zero bleeding out the Mortal Kombat symbol at the latest issue of Mortal Kombat X that I'm on.
But besides that, it's like even with most Yuri series, a lot of it just ends up being, fan service and pandering too. And I mean, I guess that's what they want. We want all that, but the big
Most
core
Yuri
of
shows I've seen don't even feel like the most shojo stuff I've ever seen, with the exception of Maria Holic. Man, I haven't seen the newest one, Yumakura or whatever it's called.
neither, and I need to. I started it, but it
Hmm.
it it sort of wavered from the plot like for a while, and I was like, I'll just get back to it when everything picks up, and forgot to. But I guess the appeal of Yaoi, and I guess Yuri now too. Thank you, Legend of Korra. uh, was
Oh,
was finding it.
spoilers for Legend of Korra.
Yeah, spoilers for Legend of Korra. Everyone got the Yuri ending they wanted.
All right.
Cong- Congratulations, you turned two girls gay.
All right. Well, I just know that the fan base was more annoying, and some people can actually relate.
I think it's gotten better over it. Well,
I don't
no,
know. We probably don't think that because we don't hang with them as much anymore.
I mean, like, I guess that's true. I've never actually gone into any places to look for it right now and how they act. I haven't been to Tumblr in months.
Sick burn.
But but I don't know. It's more like the search, I guess. Taking what characters people already love and trying to find every shipping fuel they can to put them together.
Hmm.
And if they actually like Yowie Yowie, then good for them. It's something. I mean, who doesn't like looking at that?
I don't even know what the hell you're saying anymore at this point. Okay.
How do I elaborate? Who doesn't not enjoy porn
Ah, okay. Good,
in
just
some
sum it up right
aspect?
there.
Like, you really can't blame them for saying, "Oh, you like Yowie, you're disgusting." At the same point, it's
Same point, we're
everywhere.
just as perverted too, just for different reasons.
Yeah, it's no different. So you can't really bash them for that or
No, you
anything.
can't. But
It
the
it it only gets creepy when okay, it only gets creepy when you use this analogy. These are my friends. These are my ships. These are my friend ships.
Jesus, that was so lame.
Right.
That was the
Sometimes
lamest thing you ever said, man.
sometimes I hit the nail on the head and sometimes I don't.
Okay. But I totally get what you were saying. Now, let's actually get back to Abbey House in general.
Yes.
Um, I did say that my favorite chapter in the first review was when Alex gets his ponytail removed, and that was pretty fun to me. But I think the con arc, the entirety of it, is actually my favorite because it introduced another group of interesting characters. Um, there was the panel. That scene was actually pretty. Well, that scene was actually pretty funny, and I especially like how it ended with Morgan screwing up and revealing Alex and Sandy's big secret. Remember that big secret that they could never let any of them know?
Yeah.
Okay, see what happened was at the end of the first omnibus collection, and yeah, that's how I picked them up. There's 4 volumes altogether, but they also got re-released in 2 separate omnibuses. Uh, During the Christmas chapter, um, Alex and Sandy were able to finally get a hold of their parents after being snowed in for several days. And it turns out that Sandy's mom is currently engaged to Alex's dad. As a result, they're half brothers.
As a result, the evil forbidden love goes even deeper.
And then Morgan was the only person who knew that secret, and they were like, dude, do not tell the others. We do not want that can of worms open. Can you please keep us a secret? And she's like, okay. Well, then they Alex and Sandy had to participate in L's Yowie 801 panel, and and they would talk about shippings and all that stuff. And then Morgan accidentally blurts out, "Oh, that can't happen. They're both brothers," and that just set off all the women in the room. They nearly got chased out of their lives.
People thought, "Oh no, but that's forbidden." And it's like,
Exactly.
no, that that is just to them the icing on the cake.
Exactly. Oh, whoops. Also, what did you think of the whole? It turns out their lives are being filmed as a reality show sub thing. I can't really call it
Oh,
a
are we revealing
subplot.
that? Okay, I guess we got to that
It
point.
had
Basically,
potential to go further as well, but of course it really didn't. See, what happened is, um, Alex and Sandy, unbeknownst to them, were actually part of the Alley House is actually also a net-based reality show that somehow got off the ground. Um, every one of the female characters know about this and participate as such, except for Alex and Sandy. They eventually find out at the end of the series, and the big twist was actually pretty underwhelming, but whatever. And it turns out the person who runs it is Big Brother, aka
Yeah,
Onisan, aka Jacob Mathers, Elle's older brother.
and like whenever like it was revealed to Alex and Sandy what was going on, I'm like, there's some unexplored potential there because now they got to react to the fact their lives were basically being recorded,
The fact
and
that they were
now that
forced to watch Yowie, the fact that they were, the fact that Carla was on a date with Alex, all that crap.
was basically to fuel an internet-based TV show. At that point, I'd be like, "Where's my cut of the money?"
Well, to be fair, they got the living expenses covered, Wi-Fi, all that stuff. So
True. I
yeah,
guess that does pan out. You'd
yeah,
just be tortured every day of your life, but at least you get to live in a house.
yeah. At least you're not. At least you'll be living on college campus still.
Yeah, at least you get to continue your education, even though you're like a month late.
Oh yeah, I don't even want to mention how unrealistic that was.
But but overall with that, and like even with the crazy over the top like stuff that happened after that reveal, I just thought it'd be a great plot twist if they just got caught in a TV show
Ah,
inside there that was filming their TV show.
but that
It's
didn't
like
happen.
punked on multiple levels. Nope. But overall, the series still kept charm to it.
Yeah, yeah. Still love it. I might reread it again. Hell, if they somehow if Seven Seas like re-released it and the pages are in color, I'd pick it up again.
Oh yeah,
I think
I
it would look
definitely buy
way
it in
better
color.
if it was colored. I mean, the way the shading worked and all does give it a more does give it a more 3D pop feel to it. And if they did like color the pages, all of them, it would look really really good. Oh well. Uh, what else can I say about this series? Um, like I said, we love it. There could have been more to it, but at least at least we got something.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable
It was fun.
experience.
It was fun. I
I
loved it.
I do suggest that it's worth a read for anyone, and like I said, it's not long.
No.
You
In
could just
fact,
read it and make your own opinions.
I brought this manga to another friend, a friend of mine, and for like he managed to read the whole thing in like 2 maybe 3 hours, both volumes. So,
Mhm.
and he enjoyed it. So yeah, back when people were watching my videos, back when I had subscribers, I actually did find out I motivated someone else to read this manga. A person who was part of the old ranting community where Big Al and friends were part of. There was a user by the name of Kohan3000. I know a little bit about her. She actually did some fan art on DA of the character Morgan McKnight, and it turns out that when she was describing this series, she referenced my review and my YouTube username, Darkstream217, on there, saying that's how I got into the series. And stuff like that actually makes me feel good. When I can convince at least one person to give it a watch and hopefully they enjoy it. Because that is the point of what my channel was trying to do. I was trying to get people to check stuff out.
Before we all became cynical and stopped
Well, I'm
finding
trying
joy.
to fight against the cynicism, but yeah, it's a losing
That's why we
battle.
reread this.
It's a losing battle most of the time, but I try to fight. I still fight.
Yep, there's always something you can find somewhere. There's never not something good to enjoy around. You just have to be willing to search and sometimes in really odd places.
Like I said, this manga I just accidentally stumbled upon and then went from there. I've done that a few times before with mangas before. I was Hitamari sketch. I don't know how or why, but I picked up volume 1 of Hitamari sketch. You know what Hitamari sketch is, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, the person who the the slice of life manga from the artist who worked on Madoka. I don't even know. I don't even remember buying it, but apparently I did, and then I just freaking read it one time, and I was like, it was worth a few good laughs. I don't know if I continue reading it, but I was entertained.
Will you agree that the slice of life genre isn't bad?
Well, it depends on what kind of lives they're living. I just realized that.
Yeah.
If it's characters that are relatable, like most of the cast of Ozymandias, believe it or not, then I would enjoy it. But if it's like slice of life about a bunch of people who like to skateboard, then I won't give much of a shit about it. So it really depends on the people and the lives that they're living. That's what it comes down to. And
Well,
by the way, even if it is an ordinary type of life, don't try to advertise it as ordinary. At least make it sound a little exciting to hook the audience.
or at least explain what's, the basic premise of order. See, that is the thing. What is ordinary?
Uh, Me talking without screaming into the microphone like a rabid
Like
psychopath. It would be weird if it wouldn't be ordinary if I was
the,
talking like that throughout the whole video.
that. See, what I'm saying is the concept of ordinary slice of life. First of all, ordinary doesn't exist in reality because ordinary has to be devoid of all things interesting, which make a slice of life unwatchable. It has to have something in it, like what is this person's job? Maybe is this person in high school or college? If he's in high school, I know I probably won't like this series because
Yeah,
high school settings have been so overplayed. The reason why Owie House was so interesting was because it was in a college setting.
college
You
setting.
can get away with more with it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the only
every time I hear an anime or something where the premise is a character is a college freshman or whatever, I always get like a huge breath of fresh air. I was like, I'm alive again.
yes, the character has had at least 3 to 4 years added to his life,
Hmm.
so he has some sense of mental maturity. But overall, that's really how slice of life works. You find you just have a good cast. That's what made Lucky Star good.
Yeah, I
The
know.
entire show is just talking. Geez, that's what makes. And I know you're gonna hate me saying this. That's what makes Monogatari good, is because of the character interaction. Because yes, all the characters may do is just talk, but at least
And
they're
brush each other's
interesting
teeth.
when they talk and brush each other's teeth.
But yeah, that's good points. Uh, Lucky Star is such an enigmatic show when it comes to my interest in it. But then I think you hit the nail on the head because The Big Lebowski, not much happens in that film, but I do like the conversations they have in that movie. Oh man, especially that opening scene where they're talking about how how they peed on the dude's rug. I thought that I just love hearing that conversation over and over again. That entire scene with John Goodman trying to tell the story, he keeps getting interrupted by Donnie. Donnie, you're out of your element. The point is, dude.
Hmm. Uh, but yeah, Kate character interaction, so slice of life. That's what it comes down to. It.
Yeah, as
I
long as the
I like
characters are also cool, are also good too.
I liked Barakamon because it was a slice of life of a calligrapher's struggle to become a famous, gallery painting selling artist
Hmm.
and being forced to go to an island and learn how to enjoy life because he's so stuck in his own ways he can't enjoy anything anymore.
All right.
I learned a lot from that.
Want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think we said basically everything
Okay.
we could possibly say about this
To
series.
reiterate, Alley House, um, kind of some missing potential there, but it was still a very good, enjoyable read despite the rather ominous premise. Like I said, you could buy it. It's in manga format, or you can read the comic on the web comic online. It's a pretty high recommendation. I still love this, despite the flaws. I still really love this series. So yeah, I'd say give it a read. Your final thoughts?
Mm, this was a nicer interpretation on the yaoi fandom,
Yes.
and really just the anime fandom as a whole, because let's be honest, the lines are very slim in between. Um,
I also gotta mention it is a pretty fan servicey manga too.
yeah, it has bad moments, but even when it happens, it's almost played off as nothing
Oh,
or
and
for laughs.
FYI, the lost episode, I hated that, but I'm not going to go into details for that. Yeah,
Yes. That's a whole nother can of worms that you can decide to go jump down if you feel like it.
if you do. But yeah, hopefully you guys give it a read, and then you tell us what your thoughts are in the description below. And with that, this is Dark Screen 217 signing out.
Windsor, catch you later.